So we started our Give It Back Nancy campaign last week, pushing Pelosi to give back the millions her husband racked up in the stock market. And guess what? This week, Nancy Pelosi finally caves, claiming she will support banning members of Congress and their families from trading stocks if members of Congress support it too. They better. She's clearly irritated, though, because we, all of you, Stinchfield's army, forced her into this spot that will undoubtedly cost her a fortune.
We have to tighten the fines on those who violate the Stock Act. It has to be government-wide. The Supreme Court has no disclosure. It has no reporting of stock transactions, and it makes important decisions every day. I want the public to have that understanding. We have to do this to deter something that we see as a problem, but it is a confidence issue. But it's complicated, and members will figure it out, and then we'll go forward.
No, it's not complicated, Madam Speaker. It's very simple. The American people don't want you profiting off of your position of power, and they certainly don't want your husband profiting off it either. She does a complete 180, though, on her stance on House members buying stocks. That's the good news in all of this, despite defending the practice just days ago, claiming it's unfair to exclude lawmakers from the financial markets. Now she claims she will work to get the ban done. I do not believe her. It is thanks to all of you, though, which is why she's making this move. And it's why we're still calling on her to give back the $35 million she and her husband earned from his stock trades, benefiting off of her position of power. So let's add your name to the petition, please. Go right now. GiveItBackNancy.com. Spread it on social media. GiveItBackNancy.com. I want to welcome in my panel. Co-hosts of Chicks on the Right podcast, Amy Jo Clark and Miriam Weaver are here. Amy Jo, Miriam, great to have you both on. Amy Jo, you first. Nancy Pelosi makes a 180. I think the pressure is starting to get to her, but it ain't over.
I love how, hi there, first of all. Hi, how are you, first
Hi.
of all? And,
Hi, ladies.
and I love how if she feels like she's going to be held accountable, she's like, everybody else needs to be held accountable too, because you can see how completely miffed she is about all of this. But Grant, I don't think it's going to happen. And if it was going to happen, if she felt like she could do this, or if she felt like she really wanted to do this, she could do it this week. She could do it tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, the problem here, Miriam, is her little caveat is if this is what members of Congress want to do. And the bottom line is Democrats and Republicans, by and large, they don't want to do this because they make a lot of money. Congressmen and women go in, not all that wealthy. They all come out millionaires, Miriam.
Yeah, and they are public servants. And I use that term so loosely. And they should not be getting filthy rich off of information that they learn through a practice that any one of us would go to jail for. This is a bipartisan issue, so it should be very easy to pass something with bipartisan support, because people from both sides of the aisle are very much for making this stop. And so I give credit to both to both sides on this issue who are fighting to end this ridiculous practice.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not many of them. Only a couple dozen in Congress that are actually pushing for these bills to go through, and there's hundreds of members of Congress. So we need to keep it up, all of us. So, hey, lastly, GiveItBackNancy.com, GiveItBackNancy.com. I want all of you to go there.
Well done, you.
You talked about public...
Yes, it's awesome.
I know. You talked about... You talked about public servants. Dr. Fauci, I guess you would consider him a public servant. He's done a lot of disservice to us. Listen to him now on the possibility of another booster shot.
There may be the need for yet again another boost, in this case, a fourth dose boost for an individual receiving the mRNA that could be based on age as well as underlying conditions.
Amy Jo, are we going to be here next year, this time? There may be a need for a 26th shot now.
Oh my gosh, I hope not. I really hope not. So when the experts get it wrong over and over and over again, are they still experts? Because I've completely tuned this guy out. I don't even listen. When I see his face, I'm just like, I'm done. I can't. I just don't. So, I mean, I guess we could still hear it, but that's completely up to us, right? It's up to us whether or not we still listen to this guy.
Well, It ends when we say it's over. And more people need to stand up and say it's over. All right, Miriam, real quick, I'm going to play this last soundbite from Dr. Fauci. This on baseball.
By baseball season, will masks be a thing that we don't have to worry about?
Again, I'm not going to give you. You're trying to back me into that mask situation. You're doing a good job. Congratulations. But I look forward to the beginning of the baseball season, whether you're wearing a mask or not. One of the great pastimes in America. I'm looking forward to it.
Miriam, if you can, in 15 seconds.
Well, I can't overstate the amount of disdain I have for him laughing about a baseball game when he has no problem masking up kids, despite all of the negative impacts masking has on kids. It just makes me sick to my stomach.
Yep, it sure does. I'll be laughing at him if he ever throws another first pitch out at a baseball game, because that was about the worst thing I've ever seen, most unathletic thing I've ever seen. Amy Jo Clark, Miriam Weaver, thank you ladies both for coming on.